Morning to all of you. Can you remember the balancing condition of Wheatstone bridge? Anyone loudly, please? Last class we have seen meter bridge also, diagram also we have seen. Yes. Balancing condition of Wheatstone bridge. When galvanometer shows zero deflection, then R1 by R2 is equal to R3 by R4. Meter bridge diagram. So last class we have seen the meter bridge. Is that making the diagram? Why this is known as a meter bridge or it is known as slide wire bridge? Meter bridge means we are using a resistance wire of 1 meter length. Nichrome wire, constant wire, mechanic wire, etc. we are using because they have high value of resistivity and low value of temperature coefficient resistivity. So what goes? So this is a 1 meter wire connected between A and C. And for easy connection, we use switch, copper switch, metallic switch. They will not offer any resistance. You can connect from here, connect from here. There is no problem. Rectangular switches are connected, and one flat switch. So A and C is the resistance wire between A and C magnets connected. This is the case of Wheatstone bridge. And between this resistance box is connected. Our resistance between gap usually connect unknown resistance next to mark, right gap. So there is a galvanometer is connected between the, remember, between B and D in the case of Wheatstone bridge. So this one I am marking as B and this is a sliding contact B. Solve the diagram and you can see, you can recognize different parts of the resistance. This is not a permanently contact, this is a sliding contact. This wire can adjust over the wire. It's sliding, that is why it is called slide wire bridge. AB, you can have a particular length, centimeter, the remaining length will be equal to 100 minus 7 centimeter. The resistance wire. So what are the different resistance here? AC resistance is R2 and this market is R3 using R4 with your Wheatstone bridge. So meter bridge is a practical form of Wheatstone bridge where you can use what the equation to find out unknown resistance and also to find resistivity. This is a practical. You have a practical in class 12 based on this diagram. So what do you have to do to balance the bridge? You have to adjust the sliding contacts to and fro by taking some resistance R here. At a particular point, say B, galvanometer shows zero deflection. Then the bridge is balanced. When the bridge is balanced, condition is R1 by R2 is equal to R3 by R4. You have to recognize R1, R2, R3, R4 here. Between A and B is R1, between B and C is R2, between A and D is R3. And between C and D it is R4. What I mark here, R3 and suppose I am taking small r stands for resistance per centimeter per unit length of meter bridge wire. What is AB length is L. What is the resistance R1? From here to here, length is L. Balancing length is L. So R1 we can write it as L. What about R2? R2 means the remaining length is 100 minus L. Resistance per unit length is R. So R2 stands for length into resistance per unit length. What is R3? That is the resistance that you are taking from the resistance box, R3. And what is R4 stands for? Here, unknown resistance. You can connect unknown resistance to the left gap also. When it is in the left gap, this will be R3. When it is in the right gap, it is R4. Locations are important as per the diagram. So this is R3, that is pass. So we want to find out the value of S from here. S is equal to 100 minus L divided by L into power. So this is the equation for connecting using what to find out unknown resistance by using meter bridge. So you can repeat the experiment by taking different values of resistance box. 1 ohm, let's say, 2 ohm, let's say, 3 ohm, let's say, and repeat the experiment, take the mean value. And remember, here S is connected in the right gap. S is connected in the right gap. This will be. So I am giving a numerical based on this. The numerical is in this case. A bridge is balanced when the sliding contact divides the entire wire, that is AC in the ratio. Suppose the ratio is 1:1. Sliding contact divides the wire in the ratio 1:2. Okay. And in the left gap, there is a resistance box. And here we are taking it as 5 ohm resistance. What will be the value of S? Find S. Sliding contact divide the wire in the ratio 1:2. And in the left gap, there is a resistance in the box of 5 ohm. Then what is the value of wire divides in the ratio mean from here we are getting L divided by 100 minus N equal to R by S. L by 100 minus N divides the ratio 1:2. R value is 1. This is S. S is equal to 10 ohm. This is the way how you simplify it. Suppose in the same question, if S is connected in the left gap. Suppose we are connecting S in the left gap. And what will be the answer to that? So you can interpret the connection as per this is unknown resistance X. And here 5 ohm resistance is connected. What will be the value of X? How we calculate that? This is your equation. L by 100 minus N equal to R by S. And remember, this should be on left other gap. This is on right gap. So that is as per your right hand. Equation as per formula. R1 by R2 is equal to R3 by R4. L by 100 minus N remains same. What is here? R and S. Here, the ratio is again 1:2. But here you know R left gap that is X on the right gap and that 5 is 1. So this is the way how it changes when you change from right to left. Okay. So we are getting the value is equal to X is equal to 2.5. The bridge is balanced. So Wheatstone bridge in balanced condition. So we have experiment to find out, and by knowing the unknown resistance, the wire, and if you calculate the radius by screw gauge and measure the length of the wire, you can find out resistance by using the equation R equal to rho L by A. Here A will be equal by R square. This is also part of our experiment. We used to conduct the experiment in the lab. So this is about the meter bridge, a very important one. Next, we have remaining with one last topic in this, that is potentiometer. Potentiometer is a device used to measure EMF, to compare EMF, experiment is there, and to find internal resistance. So main discussions are with EMF comparison and to find internal resistance. Both are board questions, repeated board questions. That is the last topic of this chapter. So, what is the arrangement of potentiometer? Potentiometer device used to measure EMF. Why? Because it will not draw any current from the cell and can be used to measure the PD across the terminals of the cell without drawing any current. That is the definition of EMF. So used to measure EMF, compare EMFs, and to find internal resistance. So what is the arrangement of potentiometer? Just like a meter bridge, we are taking a resistance wire of 1 meter in length. But potentiometer is you are taking a resistance wire of 4 meter, 6 meter, 8 meter, 10 meter, etc. can be provided. But if you take 4-meter wire and keep it as a single wire, it's very difficult to arrange it on a table. It is 6-meter wire, 8-meter or 10 meters. So what we'll do, we take the wire 8 meters, 10 meter, etc., or 4-meter. We cut into different parts of 1 meter length. 1 meter length wire we are cutting, and after that they are interconnected by using copper strips. So copper strips are still using for connection without introducing any resistance. It will be easily you can arrange over a small table. So like this, I am showing 4 wires. These are all 1 meter wire. Okay, 1 meter wires are arranged here. So this is starting point. 1 meter wires we cut and kept, and after that we are interconnect them. Connecting from first wire, second wire by copper strip, second to third by copper strip, and next one is also by copper strip. And we are reaching the other end. So you have 1 meter, 0 to 100, 1 to 200, 1 to 300, 300 or 400. So 4-meter wires are arranged, 1 meter, 1 meter arranged like this. You can arrange any number of those are interconnected. So you are getting a single wire in compact form. So potentiometer or resistance wire, same kind of from okay, constant mechanics. Okay, for its working, we have to give some current. So between A and B, we are going to connect a battery through a key, or we want connected a meter also, and the rheostat. The rheostat are connected. So this circuit is called primary circuit, PC, because it sends a current to the potentiometer wire. To activate potentiometer wire, current is the circuit will provide the current. Okay, suppose the current I is flowing to this. The same current will flow to the potentiometer wire. Here resistance wire, between any 2 points there will be potential difference. So we are going, so this is the construction part of potentiometer wire. You have potentiometer wiring there connected between 2 points A and B of any length. This circuit is connected there. This will you can change the current in the circuit here by adjusting your switch. So current is there. What is the principle behind potentiometer? Very, very important. Principle behind potentiometer. Suppose a current is flowing through this one. You can take A to points A and J and connect. So there will be current is flowing through this. The beach का resistance होगा R, and therefore there will be potential difference also. The resistance one. So according to Ohm's law, between any 2 points of potentiometer wire, that is B, is equal to current into resistance. I is given by the cell battery, that's the battery is the positive terminal, हमेशा A में करना है star mark है. Positive is always connected to the point A. If you reverse the direction, so it will be problem there because other connection. Okay, B equal here. But R equal to 2L by A. So in this case, B equal to I rho by A. This is a constant L current. A constant current is flowing through the potentiometer wire of uniform area cross section. So I rho by A equal to a constant K. So this is V is equal to KL or V proportional to L. This is the principle of potentiometer. So principle of potentiometer is this: when a constant current is flowing through a potentiometer wire of uniform area cross section. Okay, uniform area cross section. The potential difference across any 2 points is directly proportional to the length of that portion of potentiometer wire. As the length increases, potential difference also will increase. Be proportional to L. This K, what is here a constant K? Constant K, यहाँ से लेके आ सकते हैं. The constant K is equal to V by L, potential per unit distance, and this is known as potential gradient. Okay, this K is called V by L, equal to that's potential gradient. and it is related to the current by the equation. The equations are very important one. Potential gradient is given by I rho by A. So this potential gradient of potentiometer acts just like its least count. Smaller the value of potential gradient, greater the accuracy of the measurement by this device. Or we say that the device is said to be more sensitive. Device is said to be more sensitive. If you decrease the value of current, K value will decrease. Or if you want to decrease the value of K by giving a constant voltage, you can increase the length. So for a given value of V, how can you increase the sensitivity of a potentiometer? By decreasing K, can be done by increasing the value of length L. So if you have 4 meter, 8 meter, 10 meter wire, then which potentiometer will be more sensitive or accurate in measuring EMF? This was a board question. Smaller the value of K, then greater the sensitivity. Sensitivity of potentiometer is or accuracy of potentiometer is measured by the term K. Smaller the value K, it is said to be more sensitive. Okay. So if you are giving constant voltage here, sensitivity can be increased by using 10 meter wire instead of 4 meter wire. So that will be more accurate device for measuring it. Okay. Next is, this is used to measure EMF, and I am going to explain next one how to compare the EMFs of two cells. Okay, from there you can easily recognize how you are going to find out the EMF. Comparison of EMFs of two primary cells, we are using Lagrange cell and diagonal cell. Just see the YouTube videos for recognizing diagonal cell and Lagrange cell, their construction and their appearance. Okay, so comparison of EMF, to compare EMF by using potentiometer is equal to AL. In all the diagram potentiometer, this circuit will be constant and there will be no change. So you have to compare EMFs of two cells. For example, Lagrange cell 1.45 volt EMF and diagonal cell of 1.1 volt EMF. What are the requirements? We are taking these two cells, so they are arranged here. First cell and second cell. What you will do? First cell of EMF E1, second cell of EMF E2. And the positive of these two cells are connected to the point A where the positive of the battery is connected. Subpositive point. All positives are connected to the same point, which is very important star mark. Then we use a two-way key for measuring the EMF. Two-way key means, so it is represented by like these three dots. You have three terminals you have to connect two-way key. The negative of these two cells are connected to two N terminals, and the center one is connected to galvanometer and connected to a sliding contact, that is J. Sliding contact is J. That will touch on the potentiometer one. So you will be adjusting primary circuit for a particular current. Okay. So that diagram is completed. This is diagram. Now you have to find out we can do the first cell. For that, you have to connect this gap number 1. You have P1, P1, P2, close it. This gap is closed. First cell is introduced. If this EMF is E1, what you have to do? You have to adjust the sliding contacts or jockey over this. So at a particular point, say J, galvanometer is showing 0 deflection. So measure this length AJ as L. Measure the length AJ as L. So at this length L, galvanometer shows 0 deflection. Why it is showing 0 deflection? Meaning is that the potential here is same as at A, but the potential is same as here. So in this circuit, A1J, A circuit, you can use Kirchhoff's second law. Kirchhoff's second law can be used. Okay, by KVL, consistent by KVL, QA, E1, JA, closed circuits. There is no current. So what is the EMF across the terminal? That is the PD across the terminal. That is counterbalanced by PD across the length A and J. यहाँ पे PD है और यहाँ पे PD है. बराबर है, oppose किया है, and that is why galvanometer shows zero. So we can use KVL for that. Suppose you are traveling in this way, कोई से भी आप जा सकते हैं A, E1, J, A. So when you reach here, this will be touching positive, so E1. But here we will be going from this side to this side, it's opposite, so that you can write as minus A for PD. This time I am marking as L1. So PD across the point A and J. Okay. By the principle of potentiometer is K L1. So minus K1 is equal to so by measuring balancing line and you can find out mu. But you should know the value of K, which is equivalent to the least count that you can. So what we'll do now? So open the key 1 and hold the key second. So second cell is introduced. So this is for the first cell. Now second cell is introduced. Posing the key gap. Again adjust the galvanometer to get zero deflection. Let's suppose we are getting the deflection say some other point here. Z'. Measure the balancing length as L2 from K dash. Meter scale is attached there, so you can measure that. So PD between the point A and J dash is KL2. That is balanced with what EMF P2. Again, by KVL, the first part you can take A into JA. So E2 minus KL is equal to 0. Both are equal, balanced. So equal to K. Equal number. So by knowing the balancing line, the EMF can be calculated. So what is the way of calculating EMF? By calculating the balancing line. K is the potential gradient constant for potentiometer can be calculated. The calculation is known. So take the ratio 1 by 2. So E1 by E2 is equal to L1 K L1 by K L2. E1 by E2 is equal to L1 by L2. So comparison you can do very easily. So there is no use of your potential gradient case. So, but without using, so simply by comparing length, taking the length, you can compare. That is the best device for comparing EMF as well as measure EMF of cell because it does not draw any current from the cell. So voltmeter is not a good option for finding but EMF because it takes some current from that, so measured value is less. Potentiometer is not taking any current for its workings based on that method. It is giving very selfless service. So EMF measurement is more accurate in this case. So this diagram is very important. How to compare the EMF. This is one set of readings. Suppose you want to repeat the experiment, 3 sets of reading or taking the laboratory. How do you do? For that, for repeating the experiment, you have to adjust slightly the rheostat in the primary circuit. So by adjusting the rheostat in the primary circuit, current will change. When current will change, K will change. So L1 and L2 will change. So you get different set of L1 and L2 and you can compare again E1 by E2. After that, take the mean value. So this is the mechanism that we are adopting it. Comparison of EMF. Okay. So next is again very important one. Potentiometer to measure EMF to measure internal resistance. Next application again very important one because diagram is already here. There is no need for changing the diagram here. So primary circuit exactly same. So I am coming to that part also how to measure internal resistance. How to measure internal resistance. Primary circuit as such, there is no change. And the circuit here what we employ, this is generally called a secondary circuit where the galvanometer is involved. So this is CC, this is SC, where the galvanometer is for balancing. That circuit is called secondary circuit. Okay. So you want to find out the internal resistance of a dynamic cell or Lagrange cell that is to be connected in the secondary circuit. For that, a resistance box will be going to you. I'll say key भी देंगे. So key in the primary circuit I will be writing as K1, K1, and one more key will be 1 key that we use in the second. Primary circuit exactly same, there is no change. These diagrams are very important for complete this diagrams in the copy and when necessary. Okay. What we know, this is the cell. Small r stands for internal resistance. We are connecting these two separate circuit here. The resistance box from here you can take out any resistance R and another key is here that K2 and its location is very important one. The location is very important one. K1 is primary circuit key. वो पूरा time close लगेगी. And this is cell along with the resistance box. From here you can take R and key K2 is arranged. And the positive terminal measure to the point A, star mark. And from here we connect your galvanometer with the sliding contacts. I got completed. So what you do in this arrangement? First point, arrange your rheostat for a particular current. After that, no need to change throughout the experiment. Kuch nahi karna. So that the K should be maintained constant. Potential gradient. Least count of the device should be constant throughout the experiment. So there is does not any change. Okay. So फिर क्या करना है? Keep K2 open. The secondary circuit K2 should be open. It is called open circuit. When it is open, देखो इसका कोई मतलब नहीं ऊपर का circuit. There is no meaning there. So we are going to balance the EMF of the cell. Attach the sliding contact and get zero deflection say at the point A and measure the balancing length as L1. So by the principle of potentiometer, so K here you can use E minus K L1 is equal to 0. EMF is measured as equal to K L1 equal to 1. This is open circuit. Open circuit means no current from the cell to the other part. Okay. Now, second function is now we will take some resistance R here, close the key. When you close the key, the cell will send a current into the circuit. Now, because of internal resistance, EMF will not be there. It's a constant potential difference which is equal to E minus IR. That we are going to balance. Okay, that we are going to balance. So adjust again the sliding contact. You can zero difference. So getting J dash here and mark this line as L2. L2 will be less than L1 because the potential difference is less than EMF. Greater the length, greater the EMF, greater the balance line. So K2 closed. Closed circuit. We are balancing EMF. So V minus KL is equal to 0 or V equal to KL. So potential difference is balanced now. Take the ratio. So ratio will be equal to E upon V is equal to KL1 by KL. That is L1 by. This is equation number 3. But internal resistance we have given the equation as E by V minus 1 into R. You can substitute the value of E by V from here L1 by L2 minus 1 into R. R equal to L1 minus L2 by L2. So this is the equation for internal resistance. And remember, L1 is greater than L2. Balancing length for EMF is greater than potential difference because EMF is greater than potential difference. So this is the equation. All of you completed this in the copy and some more points how to find out K that I'll explain in the next class. Thank you.